Don't startle the birds. It will destroy you.
So after lunch, we decided to come back to the park and explore more like the North Beach area. This is Arrowhead Picnic Park. So this is like a really huge area to explore. Oh yeah, so we went on the trail. We see these big flock of frigate birds there. So that was pretty cool. There was quite a few warblers in there. Not a ton of variety of warblers, I would say, but there was quite a few of the same in there. Palm warblers, redstarts, perulas, cape mays, stuff like that. And we did see these pretty cool little well, not really little, pretty cool, magnificent frigate birds. So, but yeah, I got some cool shots of some couple warblers in here. I was expecting, like I said again, to see more, but it was a good little area. A whole bunch of these pine trees. It was a pretty big trail. Quite a bit to see. Oh yeah, quite a few mosquitoes. Let's see. I was talking crap. Talking crap about all the mosquitoes. There was a lot of mosquitoes back here on this trail. So yeah, we were just kind of walking it and seeing what's up. So we get back to the front area off of this trail. Like I said, warblers and stuff like that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, back at the front of this little park area, there was some water. And I saw this pretty cool little great blue heron guy. He was just kind of not even disturbed by me. He was used to people, you could tell. He was just walking along the side by the water and stuff like that. So he was pretty cool. Got some cool little pictures of him walking and hanging out. He just was walking like right by me. He was very friendly. He was a friendly guy. So yeah, we didn't see, like I said, a whole lot there yet. But this is basically what we saw in this little area. It would probably have been better if it was a different time of year. Like I said, if it was maybe a couple weeks earlier, or maybe during fall, or like I said, earlier in spring migration. I mean, you just really this is what that Arrowhead area looks like. So I mean, you can walk around, you can bird the area. There's a lot of good areas to bird in this little region, but you really just never know. I mean, you just don't know what you're gonna find. So here's some seagulls. We head up to North Beach, which is where everything changed. Oh yeah, here we go. Oh, okay, yeah, I was talking crap. So yeah, so we're walking up. This is what it looks like walking up to North Beach. This is when it was super exciting. This is what I was waiting for. And it was the last day of the trip and the end of the day, of course. But this is kind of what it looks like. This is kind of the northernmost end of North Beach. This is what I was told to go to find all the shorebirds. So, yep, so just kind of walking in right now. This is what it looks like. You could walk down those little paths. You can walk down different areas here. Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Okay. I hope you're ready for your feet to get wet.
Yep.
I didn't know this was flooded here.
I'm ready. Better not be hot water though.
Hopefully not. I'm recording, Mideas.
Oh.
I'm making a documentary.
So it's pretty interesting. After you walk down the little trail and you walk into North Beach, there's a big old river of water. I don't know. It's like a big lagoon.
Oh, it's cold. Holy moly, it's cold.
Yeah, it was cold.
Oh, wow. I didn't know this was going to be like this. I mean,
Yeah, I didn't know it was going to be like that.
Clearly. Holy moly. Oh a crab! Oh, man.
Oh my god, why is it so
You have to cross the Red Sea, Midea. Look at this guy. Hello, my friends. Oh, dang, look. Yeah, babe, there's a lot of seabirds here. Oh, this will be good. Sandpipers.
Oh my God, what was that crab so big?
He was big.
It did not have to be that big.
Put your phone in your pocket, ma'am. Oh, okay. Alright, cool. Yeah, this is my spot. I didn't realize it was going to be like this. You just got out here.
No, I mean like salt water, because I shaved.
Salt water.
Look at him, yeah! Look at him go.
Heck yeah. That's how these guys hunt. Oh, this is good. Yes, this is what I was looking for. Oh, yeah. It's okay, you can walk across. Just don't scare the birds. You're gonna have to...
So yeah, I didn't realize we were going to have to cross the Red Sea. My husband was wearing sneakers. Sneakers at the beach. I know who does that. Up north people, that's who does it. Yeah, so he had sneakers on and I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. So he had to take off his shoes and his socks and cross the Red Sea with me. So, you know, I'm in this little area and I'm like, oh, cool. There's a bunch of little seabirds. I've never seen these before. I don't know what all of these are. I had no clue what a lot of these little sandpiper doodle guys, whatever they were. I didn't know what they were. I wasn't too familiar on seabirds up until this point. But this day is the day that really got me into seabirds. And even at this moment where I'm like in the little Red Sea, you know what I call it, where I'm in this little lagoon and I'm like, oh cool, look, there's all these like reddish egrets and there's a bunch of these little seabirds and I don't know what they are. And I'm like, oh, this has got to be it. This has got to be it. Okay, this is pretty cool. I had no idea what I was about to encounter upon at this point. Oh, and look, and then they've got like the little dowitchers and the red knots there. So it was, I was like, yeah, this is great. This is great. I got some birds I've never seen before. I always kind of wanted to see those short-billed dowitchers and long-billed dowitchers, and I didn't even know what a red knot was. I was like, what the heck is a red knot? And people were telling me that they were out there on the beach, and I was like, oh, I don't even know what that was. So this was pretty cool. I was like, okay, yeah. So I'm kind of like looking off into the distance, trying to see whatever I could see. I was getting some good pictures of these reddish egrets because you don't see them very often. I do see them in the lower keys every so often, but not that often. There's some that hang out in Marathon and like Big Pine and Bahia Honda, but again, not very often. I don't have a lot of good up close shots of these guys, so I was like, all right, cool. And there's a snowy egret right there. So I was like, all right, nice. There's some cool shorebirds here. There's some cool seabirds, and I'm thinking at this point like, yeah, this is it. I'm just gonna be appreciative of what I have and whatever I could find that day. And I was like, oh, these guys are pretty cool. These little sandpipers and dowitchers, and I was like, whatever. I'm just gonna ID them when I get back. I don't even really know what they are. I think that's a red knot right there. But yeah, I don't really know what they are at this point. I'm just like, okay, cool. I'm just going to get whatever shots I can. It was evening time. It was maybe like an hour or 2 hours before sunset, give or take, at this time. And okay, there's a ruddy turnstone, some sanderlings and stuff like that. So it was pretty good. It was pretty good. A bunch of laughing gulls there. A lot of, there was a lot of mud flats, as you can see, in this area. So yeah, I'm just kind of like looking around, looking at all the little tiny shorebirds passing by and running by, seeing if I could get a species that I don't know about yet, that I've never seen. It's pretty cool. I do see a lot of stuff that I had never seen before. So that was pretty awesome. But again, there was, the best was yet to come. I had no idea that maybe a few hundred yards ahead of me, there was going to be like thousands of shorebirds that were ahead of me while I was walking, because I was just kind of walking parallel to this little lagoon thing. Okay, here it is. Yes. So I look up and I see, and I zoom my camera in, and I'm like, yo, that looks like hundreds or thousands of shorebirds up there. And this is very, very, very far away, mind you. You can kind of tell in this picture how far away it was because you can kind of see the heat lines and stuff like that, and it looks a little bit wavy. But yeah, I look up and I'm just like, whoa. I'm like, what is this? I start like running. I start running down the beach and I'm like, oh my gosh, please don't fly away. Please don't fly away. I start running down the beach. I'm walking as fast as I can. My husband and my daughter are behind me and they're like, where are you going? And I was like, there's a whole bunch of birds down there. I was like, I gotta get down there before they fly off. And I'm like speed walking as fast as I can. They're like walking behind me. I'm like snapping pictures of birds on the way. I'm getting a little bit closer and I was like, there's so many. You can see here in the picture. I'm still super far away though. They're way up there. Like they're like way, way, way up there. They're nowhere near the entrance to the beach. You gotta walk way down. So they were quite far down there, but I didn't care because I was like, this is what I came for, like this is what I came for. Like I am not letting these get away. So I see these little plover guys and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, cool. These guys look cool. And I'm taking pictures. I'm snapping pictures as I'm walking as fast as I possibly can. I'm just snapping whatever pictures I can of whatever birds I see. I don't know what they are yet at this point. But I am just on the go. And I'm just walking and I'm going. And yeah, like I said, I'm seeing some cool stuff. There was this roped off area with a sign for nesting shorebirds. I didn't see any shorebirds nesting there, but I'm assuming later in the season, that's probably where they go. So if you're in there in the summertime, if you're in Fort De Soto at North Beach, you'll probably see them there. So yeah, but that was a black-bellied plover back there before this guy. I think that was a red knot. I'm not sure, but yeah, there was a lot of cool stuff while I was walking by.
Yes. Oh, look at these reddish egrets. Oh, this was definitely a good stop. Reddish egrets.
Alright, so after I finished practically running down the beach, I'm getting up close to where all the shorebirds are. And the most horrible thing happened right before I got up there.
Why? Who did that? Why did they all just fly away?
Can you hear the anger and desperation in my voice? I'm so mad that somebody spooked the big, huge, gigantic flock of shorebirds and flushed them. Someone, I don't know what happened. All I know is that I'm super mad. So I'm thinking, oh, I missed this opportunity. This is it. But as you can see, the birds started to return. And I was like, yes, they're coming back. So yeah, you can see here in these pictures where the shorebirds are starting to come back. They're starting to kind of regather. I want to say there probably wasn't as many as there was before they got flushed. And when you hear that the shorebirds got flushed, that just means that somebody scared them and the whole flock react and fly away. So I didn't know that at the time. And when I went in the bird chat and I was like, oh, look at this. And they're like, oh, who flushed them? Somebody. And I was like, flushed? What does that mean? So yeah, apparently that's what happened. But yeah, so you can see these mixed flocks. I thought these black-bellied plovers were like so cool for some reason. I don't know why. I never seen them with all the black like that on their bellies. I mean, I actually had never seen one, period. I didn't really quite know what they were, but I kind of thought maybe that's what they were, you know, and of course I went back later on and looked it up, and that's definitely what they were. So yeah, you can see all these mixed flocks of shorebirds. There's so many different kinds. They were all just kind of preening. Some of them were getting ready for night. They were kind of like had their beaks behind their backs like they were going to bed. And everybody was they were just eating, hanging out. There was a bunch of terns too and stuff like that. So quite a bit going on here, as you can see. So you can kind of take a look at some of this video here that I got. There's some other photographers. There was actually quite a few other photographers on the beach with some gigantic lenses. I don't need no big lenses like that. I've got my Sony RX10 Mark IV that has like its own lens built in. It has up to a 600 millimeter lens with even an additional digital zoom, so I don't need to carry lots of lenses with me. I just got my one camera and it does the job. And as you can see, it does a pretty good job, I think. So yeah, it was pretty funny though. There was a bunch of photographers on the beach, everybody with their huge gigantic lenses. So we've got some short-billed dowitchers here. I don't know why, I think they look so cool. They look like when they're walking, they're doing like a sewing needle or something like that, probing into the sand and everything. So those guys were pretty cool too. I don't know, I just really kind of like those birds. And yeah, I really like the black-bellied plover. That was kind of neat to see as well. So a lot of cool shorebirds here. It was definitely what I was waiting for. I was really excited. Like I said, I wanna come back next year, so that I can really know where I'm going and I know exactly what I'm looking for and I know what I'm gonna see. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, I mean, there was just so many different things. Oh, and there were these black skimmers there as well. I think there's like some willets and ruddy turnstones in the mix here. It's like playing Where's Waldo. So it's like birding Where's Waldo. That's what they said when I put a couple pictures of all these mixed shorebirds in the bird chat, and I was like, hey guys, who wants to play? Like, tell me what these birds are. Tell me what these shorebirds are. Yeah, I had no idea. I ended up after this going and buying a few shorebird books because I was like, there's no way I'm going to figure these out. And even still, they're challenging because they look different in the fall than they do in the breeding season. But it was cool to see these guys in breeding plumage. So, oh, here we go. Here's some sandwich terns. I think there was like two of them together. They were being silly, but yeah, sandwich terns, stealing sandwiches. So yeah, I got some a lot of good pictures because I was like, man, I don't know if I'm ever gonna see any of these kind of birds again. I was like, who knows? So yeah, so it was pretty good. Okay, yeah, so these cool little guys here, these two sandwich terns, you see how their body's kind of postured? Apparently they were doing some kind of little courtship type of ritual. They were kind of walking, you know, teetering back and forth, kind of walking back and forth, and they had this little, you know, with their wings positioned a certain way. So that was pretty cool. So yeah, so I got all the pictures of the shorebirds, and then I went over to all the big flocks of terns and laughing gulls. They were like cackling away, making all kinds of noises and stuff like that. But here we go, some of them preening here. Nice little black-bellied plover. Looks like going into some breeding plumage, maybe molting and stuff like that. So yeah, a lot of these cool little guys here. Also, this guy was really cool. This was the first time I had ever seen a black skimmer. So that was pretty exciting. I was like, oh wow, yeah, that was really cool. So then you kind of see them skimming across the water. I guess that's why they call them a black skimmer, right? So they take that long beak and they kind of open it a little bit and they fly and they kind of skim it across the top of the water. to look for food. So that was really cool to watch. I had actually never seen one of those guys before. So that was great. I always see people posting them online in like the birding groups and stuff like that, in the Facebook birding groups. You know, you see people in like Tampa and the West Coast that get them a lot, but I've never seen one in my area. I've never seen one in the Keys. So that was pretty awesome to see this guy. Yeah, I think, is that a pair? Yeah, I think there's a pair of them there. So their beaks look really odd and like menacing, I guess, or something. Like they look like they could do some damage if they wanted to, but I don't think that they're gonna do that. They're not gonna be bothering anybody, but their beaks really do look kind of crazy. So so those were really cool to see. As you can see, a whole bunch of mixed shorebirds, tons and tons of them. I mean, there were so many. Yeah, a bunch of them ended up showing back up, as you can see here. So so there was no shortage of shorebirds in sight when I got up to that area. So by this time, I had taken so long to take so many pictures of so many different shorebirds. My family was ready to leave. They were like, all right, come on, let's go. So I take one last big panorama video.
Better not touch me with that. Keep your distance, child. Before it disintegrates. Don't startle the birds. It will destroy you. It will destroy you. Because somebody did it earlier. Did you see them all fly, babe?
Look when I run on the ground.
Forward. Oh my gosh.
The other one. Yonel is gay.
Oh gosh, babe. Yonel.
That's how I know you're a good friend. You always have me in mind, even when we aren't here.
Even when we're apart.
I gotta do it for J-Mans.
Definitely.
Can I write it?
So finally, I decided to start walking back, and I do see some cool stuff on my way back. So there's a least tern here, and I see some laughing gulls and stuff like that. But there was a really rare bird that I did end up seeing when I was on my way out. So I'm kind of like looking across the way of this little lagoon river thing. I don't know, whatever it is. And I'm looking across the way and I see this bird and I'm like, is that a long-billed curlew? No, it was a whimbrel, but that was cool because I'd never seen a whimbrel before. Come to find out, that's what it was. So that was a really cool, rare find also that I saw on this trip. was this cool whimbrel. I had to ask because, like I said, I didn't know what it was. I thought it was a long-billed curlew. So it was definitely a good trip overall. I definitely started a love of shorebirds after this trip, and seabirds. I was about to say she-birds. I was going to combine shorebirds and seabirds, and I was going to say she-birds, but could have been he-birds or she-birds, whatever. But this cool black skimmer was kind of skimming along the top too, doing its thing. So really good trip overall, I would say. If you're going to go, definitely research prior, watch my video of day 1 and day 2 to kind of help to know where you're going, to kind of know what things look like, where you're supposed to be if you're looking for specific things, and gauging the time of year to go. Well, it really just depends. The birds kind of do what they want. So, all right, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and happy birding.